I can tell by that speed limit sign behind you. You stole that from somewhere. She's like, maybe I did.
No comment.
Well, it's not like every other sign in the upper Midwest. So I don't see any bullet holes in it. So
That's true. I got it at an antique store. It was super cool.
That's bullshit.
It's heavy. It's heavy as shit. Like I wanted to put it up on the wall, and I'm afraid to because it's just
people have no idea how heavy those things are.
Yeah,
they are heavy.
So it's just hiding.
Because I've taken one or two off a post in my day.
That's fantastic.
Every time antique store that was just one post in the middle of the road.
Naturally.
It was next to an old house.
Yeah, it was next to an old house.
Everyone Dustin has taken as a stop sign, though.
I only take the go signs.
Welcome back to the Five Dirty Bikers podcast. Presented by Memphis Shades, the clear choice for custom windshields and fairings for your motorcycle. And Wild Ass Seats, stay in the saddle longer and in total comfort no matter your butt or budget.
So we were just on with one of our patrons, Whit. So to give you a little bit of backstory,
okay.
And his name's Jared, and he was driving home from work, so he was in his car, and he goes into his apartment, and the first thing he does is pick up, quite truthfully, the largest cat I've ever seen in my entire life.
It was massive.
It was bigger than 3 dogs, and it was orange, and he was
that big.
Vigorously petting this cat, and then of course that led me to a very inappropriate comment about this orange cat that he was stroking so vigorously as immediately when he gets home from work. So he's now been dubbed the Tiger King. So
and then when Ryan made his comment, the cat turned around and pushed its butt right up into the camera on cue, as if he had trained the cat to do that.
That's
which
awesome.
leads me to believe he must have a cat fan page.
He's cat man.
Yeah, I guess so.
Man,
it's Jared the cat whisperer.
I mean, I thought it was a motorcycle Patreon, and this guy's just vigorously petting this giant cat, and I was very put out by it.
Apparently, my husband, when we first started dating, he told me he's allergic to cats, but not every cat, just barn cats. And I looked at him, I was like, what is the difference?
Yeah, that one's confusing.
Was it the hay?
The difference there?
I don't know. That was whatever came to his mind, but since then, I guess we're not allowed to have cats in this household because he's allergic to barn cats.
That's probably a good thing, really.
Wow.
They're messy.
Yeah. Get a dog.
Yeah, I think that's the excuse that every man used to not have a cat in their house. Like,
they're
I'm
messy.
allergic. I can't have a cat.
They're messy and they're not very friendly.
The dog will shit in the corner of your house.
Yeah, well, hey, listen. I'm not going to come home from work and find my dog on top of my refrigerator ready to jump on my face. But I might find a cat up there, so those motherfuckers are not allowed in my house.
I can't be afraid of a little pussy on your face.
And there
we sat here for like 3 minutes doing everything we could to avoid that. And then
I would never leave the house.
Bam. Way to go,
Dustin. I
Dustin.
missed you guys so much.
Listen,
I've been in the house for 7 days and it's been great.
Dave, this is the 3rd time we've had Whit on, so we know what the boundaries
are.
Oh
my God, seriously. Oh, wow.
It is. It's the 3rd time, I'm pretty sure.
I feel very special now.
Well, it seems like every time there's always a great reason for it. You keep doing these awesome rides and stuff. So let's talk about that a little bit. Tell everybody that doesn't know, because we know, about your latest big trek.
I officially attempted to ride to every single quick trip in the Midwest. So that's Wisconsin, Illinois, Minnesota, Michigan, and there's one in Illinois, and then Iowa, of course. So pretty much the entire Midwest area.
So how does one come up with this idea, Whit?
So I'm a big fangirl for a quick trip, and at the end of the year, they send you know how Spotify sends you like your ultimate playlist, your top band you listen to, and whatever else. Mm-hmm. Quick Trip sends you out this like annual review of your top times did you went, how many stores you went to, and all of this. So I got it, and I didn't reach the top tier status. And I was like, what the hell? Like, I need to do something about this. And then I put that thought with my motorcycling and long distance riding. And I was like, okay, this is crazy and unique, and nobody's done it, and I need to do it now because nobody's done it. So
did you contact him and go, look, this is what I want to do?
Yeah, I reached out to them in 2020 timeframe, but there was an individual that had already set out to do, Cassandra is her name. She drove to all of the Wisconsin quick trips throughout the entire year. So that was already called for. And then when 2020 hit, their budget was already called for. So it was 2023 when I finally got around to proposing and writing something up for them. So that's when it started. Yeah, It's been in the works for a while.
Very cool.
So remind everybody,
I go to the gas station too. So fuck all you all.
So remind everybody, Whit, did you get the actual Pan America that you did your 48 and 10 from Harley? Did you get the actual bike back, or did you get another one and they kept your bike?
No, the exact same model and the exact same bike. So all 14,000, almost 15,000 miles on that bike. That was mine. Yeah.
Perfect.
Nice.
I walked up to it when I was at the dealership, and I can immediately tell because of the bars on the side, and I put these very crappy highway pegs on it that I could find that just worked, but it scratched the paint on it. So if I went up to it and I looked at the two locations, I was like, yep, this is my bike. This is it.
Nice.
So was it on display or was it for sale?
Honestly, I'm not sure. I think it was still on display at some of the events that they were hosting. I think there was a handful of maybe a military event or something like that. I don't really know where the life it led after I brought it back to corporate. So I know it was at one event and maybe had like 100 extra miles on it, but that was it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nice. Got it back. Those sons of bitches. About time they came through.
That's right.
Life feels complete now because of it. It's good.
Well, they fucked up from the very beginning when they didn't give you that bike straight away. So that's all I have to say about that.
I was just glad to have the opportunity, because if not, I would have had to ride my Sporty, and that would have been
Holy hell.
real fun.
That would have been terrible.
Oh, man. That
Book your Cairo visits in advance.
Yeah.
It's hard to keep up with all your riding with. So that was the 48 and 10?
Yes. 48 states in 10 days, and I did it in just under 8, almost 9.
So you did it
Wow.
in 48 and 8. Fuck, you said fuck 10.
I
I'm
did.
going to do it in 8.
Why not? If I could have leisurely done it, but I wanted to get it accomplished, and so I got it done within that mark.
Nice.
So when you did your quick trip adventure that you just went on, did you end up just staying in Wisconsin for the quick trips?
I did, because I had originally planned 11 days, because that's how much PTO I could actually take off before I had to go back to work and take care of the kiddos. So I had 11 days. And after day 3, I was pretty much middle of day 4. I realized I just couldn't keep up the routing and the pacing that I had planned unless I was doing like 24-hour ride straights. And that was not going to be conducive to it all. So I was in the most southern portion of Iowa, and I realized this and just made a beeline back and said, okay, I've got, what was it, like 6 more days to finish all of at least the Wisconsin ones. So there was a total of 853 locations total, but in Wisconsin, there's 503.
Holy hell.
God.
So I did 503. Technically, if I totaled all of mine up, I did 546. So I hit the 2 in Michigan. I hit a handful of ones in Iowa as well. So yeah,
That's a lifetime of gas stations for Tony.
Well, you didn't
a
have
lot
to
of
worry
gas
about
stations.
running out of gas.
In like
I didn't have to plan that at all. That was a luxury. So yeah.
That's a lot of gas station burritos. That's all I gotta say.
I brought out the receipts too, so you guys can see them. I know you can't see
Holy
them.
cow.
Holy
So you had to
snikes.
buy something at each one?
So yeah, I kind of went off the Iron Butt Association rules to do their normal verification. So every single store that I could possibly get a verified receipt, I got a dated receipt at. So it took 2 to 3 minutes, like very quickly at some of those stops, but most of those stops were even longer than that. So if you add that up, 70 to 80 stops a day, it took up a lot of time to do that.
70
Wow.
stops a day? Jesus.
Yeah, man.
That's a lot. That's too much. That's a
Tony's
lot of
like,
getting on and
Tony's
off
like,
a bike.
that's chump
That
change.
Sounds like a great day.
How many
Sounds
soda
wonderful.
flavors that one got, Tony?
Yeah, that sounds great. You never have to go to the bathroom. You're full of gas the whole time. Get something to eat.
Well, I tell you what, one of the things I'm looking forward to going to Florida next month is going to a Buc-ee's because I've never been to a Buc-ee's yet.
Yes.
Buc-ee's is no
I-
joke.
Well, because we
I've
got
got-
Wally's in St. Louis, like right outside of St. Louis, and it's big too. But Buc-ee's, I guess, is just the
I'm
Mecca.
not a fan of the Buc-ee's.
You're the
What's
one.
your go-to
Percy.
gas station? then?
I don't understand it either.
I love Quick Trip, but
Oh,
I miss the QT. I lived in the
the
Midwest
QT
for
Quick
7
Trip.
years,
Okay.
and I really miss the Quick Trip.
the
So that was
QT Quick Trip.
There's a QT Quick Trip and the KT Quick Trip. I was the KT Quick Trip.
Yeah,
Oh.
see, that happened to me, right? Because I made this post on Instagram a while back. Whit, I think she remembers it, and I tagged her in it, and she was like, "You went to the that's not the right Quick
That's not
Trip,"
the
and I was
right
like,
one.
"Damn it!" Damn it.
Yeah, I thought you were on the QT Quick Trip. Anyway, the QT is my favorite place.
No,
Is it-
there's a
it
little
can't be as big
rivalry
as
between the two of them. If
Yeah,
you
I'm
follow
sure.
them on Twitter, it's hilarious to watch the back and forth between the two of them.
All I know is I won't go into a Chevron bathroom again. Dude, there was shit on the walls the last time I went into one.
Whoa!
I never understood how that could happen. I mean,
Bad
you must
burrito.
have had some really bad food.
It's a Chevron. I'll call them shit and runs.
What happens?
Shit
Brittany,
runs.
it's when you get that really, really bad toilet paper, and your hand just fires right through the toilet paper because it's just so thin.
And then you just smear it on the wall.
That's how it
He's got a
happens.
great
Gross.
visual of that.
What do
Yeah,
you
I'm
do?
just-
Do you
I'm
smear your
just-
butt on the wall too, or
I'm
just
just
what's
trying
on your
to-
hand?
I'm just trying to make sure that you understand the logistics of this.
And
There's
just
only one place to
imagine,
go.
and just imagine somebody having like an emergency bathroom visit and just projectile diarrhea. You know, like.
Some-
On
I-
the wall?
But how do you get it on the
How
wall?
would you
is what
get
I
that
always
angle?
wondered.
You gotta bend over and grab your ankles. And
Most of the
still
time
not
when you
gonna be
see it
high
on the
enough.
wall, it looks like it was explosive diarrhea situation. So
Hey, you guys have to realize
God
something. When you're
damn.
as tall as I am, you don't even have to do that. If I walk into one of those and just drop
Ryan,
my pants and turn
you're
around,
an oddball
I
out
can
though.
hit the middle of the wall without much trouble.
You're not
God
the
damn.
average human though.
If
the
I
average
stood up-
human
if-
is much smaller.
If I stood up on a toilet and just bent over, I might be able to shoot it right over the stall.
Is Tony sitting in the one next to you?
Man, that's fucking disgusting.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure we're gonna cop an
I'm just-
FCC violation on this one.
I'm just gonna put it out there for public record that I like these poop jokes better than the dick jokes.
Well, I mean, last episode we came out slinging with you and whatever that bloody cave you showed us.
Bloody cave. There's no blood.
Oh,
But that's what you called it. What was it? The
That
Red
is
River.
not-
you
that is
call
what
it
Tony
the Red
called
River
it.
Gorge. It was the Red River Gorge.
Red River
Come on.
Gorge.
I
The-
didn't
the
name it.
not
okay?
a cave. It's not a cave.
It's a tunnel.
Literally called not a cave.
No,
It's
it's
not
not
a
a
tunnel either.
tunnel.
Whoever named it was high.
They could have been. I don't know the history.
Dude,
of
that motherfucker's tight too. I mean, you're not fitting a full size vehicle through there.
Full size vehicle. It's one lane, and
Yeah,
you
it's
barely
tight.
fit through it. Yeah.
It's tight and dark.
there we go.
Just saying.
I don't even know what to do with
just
We're
that.
only 15 minutes in. I mean,
Can we
I-
go back to the Quick Trip?
We can.
With a Q or a K?
Both the QK,
Yeah, let's do that.
KQ.
So
I don't know what the hell y'all are talking
what
about.
attracted you to these gas stations the most, Whit?
Mm,
Burritos.
it's the food, technically. Yeah.
The food?
No shit.
I go there for groceries. If I don't even go to the actual grocery store, they've got milk, bread, eggs, all of the essentials, bratwurst, the whole 9 yards. If I need anything, I get it at the Quick Trip. And
That was a super upper Midwest thing that she just said, by the way. Did you notice? She said milk, eggs, bratwurst. I was like, that was like the top four things.
Nice.
And packaged meat was one of them.
I should have
tubular form.
added the cheese curds to it too, and then
Cheese
yeah.
curds.
That'll give it away. Yep.
Yep.
That's the most Midwest thing
it
ever.
would have been good.
I cannot say that I've ever gone to a gas station for grocery shopping, but I know in like smaller towns that's very common.
Yeah, because they closed our in-town grocery store here, so all we have is gas stations unless we go 2 miles over to the next town.
It's also common, Brittany, when you have small children, because oftentimes you can't make more than one stop before they like want to murder you in the car.
Oh, dude.
You know, like
You mean
left
before you
many a
want to murder
shopping
them?
cart.
right when you're sitting in your car and you're driving, you're like, just one more stop, and a child's blanket comes up over your face and starts to snuff you out. You know it's time to go home. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, anybody with small children knows. Like,
Dude,
you have
we
a limited
abandoned-
number of stops.
We abandoned many a shopping cart in the grocery store with the kids. It's like it's not worth it. Just fuck it. We're going home.
I'm wondering if you guys are not disciplining your children well enough.
I beat the shit out of my kids.
I don't remember my mom ever removing us from a store. She was like, "You better fucking knock it off," and we behaved, and then we finished our store trip.
Hey,
Tony,
my kids-
Tony's kids are like 6 feet taller than him now, so they
Right.
beat his ass.
right.
They
My
would.
kids-
They beat my ass now.
They
But
are.
I
They're
got
big-
my
they're big
licks in
kids.
when they were younger.
My kids are survivors, so that's all I got to say.
Oh, my kids associate Quick Trip with donuts. They're like, yeah, let's go. We need to go. So they always ask to go to the gas station for sure.
Wait, have you been to a Casey's?
Yes.
What'd you think?
Oh, here we go.
Uh,
Here we
Casey's
go
is
with the
a
fucking
great
pizza.
store.
I
great,
mean,
The
great
pizza's
gas
good.
station.
Nah,
nah.
Not your thing. Okay.
I'm pretty loyal here. There are some locations, but no.
Do they do
My
pizza
husband
at Quick
knows.
Trip?
Mm-hmm. They make it
Oh.
actually in house. So I went to their headquarters and I saw them make all of the certain types. There's a pothole pizza, is what it's called, and there's cheese curds on it. So
I
There's-
didn't know that they
I
made pizza.
think those
I'll
pothole
tell you,
pizzas were
heart
made in St.
disease
Louis,
in the
Percy.
Midwest.
I'm telling you right now, the hot dogs aren't sitting in the wiener water anymore. But I think
Rollers.
that a hot dog on one of those rollers from a gas station rivals just about any hot dog you can find. And so if you find a gas station that does these well, it's worth your time.
See, I have a problem with an open air hot dog
Why?
because it's just sitting out there in the open air on rollers with
Dude,
people
they-
coughing and breathing and
They
shit.
have cases.
No,
on them,
that
don't
little
they?
fucking
It's
case
heated.
doesn't
Probably
do jack shit.
sanitizes it.
throwing off all the bacteria as it rolls.
Well,
Yeah,
listen,
the open air food, like the open air donuts, I'm not eating those crusty motherfuckers either.
listen. We all know that hot dog's not real meat anyway, so who gives a shit if it's in the open air? I mean,
That's a good point.
it's just a smidge away from lips and assholes.
So
So
it is lips and assholes.
According to Dan Aykroyd, they are.
I'm just saying.
There we go.
On a open air meat on a hot roller is not going to kill you. There's a lot of things in this world that'll kill you. That one's not one of them.
My go-to is a bratwurst with cheddar inside of it. So
Oh, those are good.
do those. Yeah.
Oh, you know what?
They
though?
have those at the Quick Trip.
They do.
You know what? I'm going to
I'm
be
gonna
in
order.
Wisconsin in a few weeks.
Are you coming
I'm
up for
hitting
the
KT.
anniversary?
Yeah, I'm coming out for the 120th.
Dave,
Perfect.
I'm just going to give you fair warning. One thing you might not know. Now, when you get the bratwurst, when you get the cheddar bratwurst and you put it on your bun, you put out whatever fixings you're going to do. You need to give it an appropriate amount of time to cool. If you do not, you're going to bite into it, and that liquid cheese inside of that hot dog is going to squirt all over your face, and it's going to give you a burn on your face like you've never felt before. And if you get a cheese burn on your face from a bratwurst cheddar hot dog, you will never live that down. I will never let you forget that.
I think Ryan's had a lot of experience.
How many
with
times
this.
have you done that, Ryan?
Dude, you know what? More
Just
than
once.
once I've taken one off a grill and bit into it, and that shit squirted on my face, and I threw that hot dog about 900 yards.
Sounds like Ryan gets after the wiener.
I know, man. He couldn't wait for it to cool
He's
off.
not
He
afraid
wanted
of the
to
wiener.
Chomp right in.
Cased meat is my jam.
Yeah, he's not afraid of the wiener.
Did you take the wiener
He'll
on the
jump
bun?
right on it.
Ooh, 2 buns.
2 buns. Wow. Well, Whit, I'm going to go in and I'm going to get one and I'm going to say this is for Whit.
And he's gonna hold it up just like that.
I will. This is for Whit.
It's gonna shake.
For Whit.
Somebody take a picture of it. It's
That'll
for
make me so happy.
Just shaking this wiener in his hand. This is for Whit.
My ambassadorship is just selling itself right there.
See, these are the types of customers I attract. Hire me.
No, when you do come up, let me know because that would be awesome.
Oh, absolutely.
Whit was on 5 Dirty Bikers 3 times. She was not on 4.
Oh shit.
Whit, have you done that? How far are you from Milwaukee?
And little over an hour.
Have you done that express ferry across Lake Michigan?
I want to.
Well,
it's quicker to go all the way south and around if you're going to Michigan, which is what I've done. And I know it's a little bit pricier to do so, and you just need the time. But eventually, I would love to.
Yeah, we're Volts and I are doing that. Coming back from the 120th, we're gonna go. Well, our plan right now is to ride across southern Canada and dodge the fire and smokes, and then go down to Niagara Falls and come down. But I'm trying to do research on how to tie our bikes down on that ferry. I'm a little nervous about that. Yeah,
I'm not entirely sure. I haven't done it before. I've only rode, there's a passenger ferry or car ferry up in Door County where I work. And so I've done that, but it's like I sit on the bike for 15 minutes and then we're there. So it's not a hour. I think 3 hours. I don't know how long it takes to get
I think it's like 2.5 hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Sorry,
what's next? Come on now. I know there's something in the works. You're probably going to fucking...
She's going across Lake Michigan on the ferry with me and Volts.
She might be going to like the tip of South America or something.
I wish I had the opportunity to. There was a friend of mine that also has a Pan Am, and that's what she had done with hers, but I just didn't have enough time off in February to do so. But I'm going next month is what I've got planned. Key West, Florida. So I have to make my trek all the way down there, which is pretty much an iron butt day and a half. Ride down Key West, Florida to the top of the 48, which is England or something like that. Minnesota. It's like surrounded by Canada. Pretty much you have to go out of the country into Canada to back into Minnesota to get to the top of that. And then all the way up to Prudhoe Bay, Alaska.
Oh,
wow.
Nice.
You're doing that in one trip?
Yeah, I'm going to attempt it in 16 days.
Jesus.
Holy
If not,
shit.
I'll just do the coast to coast. So I'll do Key West, Florida to the top of Alaska because I have through the Iron Butt Association, they give you 30 days to do that. And if you do there and back, it's technically 60 days. But right now I've got enough PTO to attempt a 16-day run, and I'm going to try to do all the way up and back down.
How many miles is that a day?
Technically, it's about 12,000 total for me.
Wow.
Key West is a fucking boot.
Yeah.
In a day?
So that's about 800 a day then, right? Over 16 days versus
Pretty much.
12. Yeah,
Yeah.
800 a day. So, I mean, that's
Okay.
like 16 hours or more a day, right?
Depends. So I'm going to drop the kids off in Tennessee. That's where my in-laws are. And from Tennessee all the way down to Key West is a full iron butt 1,000-mile day. So I can get that, I know, done within a day. Mark. It's just when I get up to Canada and Alaska and the weather conditions could be fantastic or could be on the dicey side. That might take me a little bit longer.
Fuck that.
That's incredible.
No,
Plus, you could lose a significant amount of time just going across the border.
Yes.
Unless you've got like Nexus or something.
No.
Tell me if this happened to you, because this happened to me. So I don't ride like you do, but I like multi-day long trips, right? Once you started doing that, did it ruin the short riding for you? Because if I'm not riding 100 miles, I don't want to ride my bike.
It feels like, I've shorted myself a little bit going, okay, I could have saw a lot more. I could have rode a lot more, but it is what it is. Like my daily commute to work is 250 miles. So actually 300 miles.
What the fuck?
Why do you do that?
And I don't go
Why?
out there every single day, but my commute up to work is about 300 miles. So
Okay.
One way?
150 if I'm going to where my work is, but then it could be another 50 miles more if I'm going farther up the peninsula.
Damn.
So
Good Lord.
I used to
damn.
commute an hour one way to work, and I did that for too long. And when I
Whit's
looked
not
for a
afraid to-
different job, I was like, fuck this. I'm not commuting like that ever again. And now I work from home.
Shit, man, I would spend an hour in
Yeah.
traffic just going to work 12 miles away.
God.
Yeah.
An hour's not that much.
But Dave, commuting in the upper Midwest is kind of a way of life. Like I drive 70 miles a day. I drive 35 miles one way to
What?
work. So I drive 70 miles a day.
Same.
Every day. I've been doing it for 11 years.
Mhm.
So when you live in the Midwest or upper Midwest, commuting it to work a long distance is really something that a
It's
lot of
pretty
people
common.
do.
Oh yeah, no
It's
doubt. I mean,
very
I lived in the
common.
Midwest for 7 years. I mean, my commute was probably 20 something miles each way, but I'm just saying 150 each way.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
That's
But she's
insane.
not going to work like that.
How
every
many
day.
how many cheesy bratwursts would you eat on the way to and from work?
On the daily, every time, or not, like every time I go up and stop, for sure I'd get something.
Wow.
So,
No wonder Quick Trip's high on her list, man.
I know, right? She's addicted.
I
She
really
is
am.
on the road.
He, like, my husband knows every time we are empty or need to fill up with gas, I look at him. I was like, you better not go anywhere else but find the next nearest Quick Trip. And most likely it's within a range. If not, we'll be pretty sad. But yeah.
Well,
Do they give you discounts on everything now?
They helped out for this adventure a little bit, enough to cover some of my expenses, which is kind of nice. But yeah, no.
Now, do most Quick Trips, do they have the premium gas, or are some of them just like 87? Because, the Midwest, you could be at a gas station, all they have is 87.
Some of them do. And so I went to every single store location. So they have stop and goes, which are kind of a different type of off brand for them. But then they also have tobacco outlets and quick spirits, which are actually just alcohol bar locations as well. So I stopped at every single one of those as well. So yeah, I didn't get gas at every single one, but most of them I did. I got like 5 or 10 cents worth at each stop.
oh, that's how you
That's
got
why
your
you have all the
receipt.
receipts.
Give me a quarter's
Nice,
worth,
that's
man.
smart.
That's literally all I got. Lowest I think I got was 5 cents worth as I quickly, and then
You got a lot of store managers going and go, what the fuck?
The receipt costs
And
more
they're
than the
doing the
gas.
balancing at the end of the day.
Man, if she needs gas, I'm gonna give her a couple bucks. I mean,
I just
the
lost
worst.
money on that
cents.
sale.
Yeah, it was the worst though when the receipt didn't print and I had to go into the store, which was fine, but I had to wait in line to get it. And then they're like, the cashier's like, you want the 17-cent receipt? And I was like, yes, I need that receipt, please. Thank you. So they were very,
Nothing's worse than being up at 7 o'clock in the morning, having to pump gas, and the thing you see on the screen is "see attendant."
yes.
That's the worst
Yeah.
thing to
oh,
read.
I'll go to a
on-
different gas station. Fuck that.
Well, it's
not
after they
going
pumped your gas, though.
Yeah, so you have to. But
If you want
No.
that
See,
receipt.
around here, you can't pump gas until it's paid for. They don't trust you.
well, at least we can do the credit card on our end. I know they've
Yeah.
changed it. on
Yeah,
our
we
end.
just do credit cards.
Yeah.
But it doesn't always print the receipt, like you said. Sometimes you have to go in.
I did. And then I use gift cards for it because if I had to use just my actual credit card, I'm sure my bank would have been. There was a stint where my gift cards ran out and I had to get like $1 somewhere. And then this was when I was in Wisconsin. And then like 2 hours later, I was in Iowa. So my bank called me and they're like, you have $1 charge and then this charge. So I was thankful that I could at least just use the gift cards and keep going that way.
So
Don't
you didn't call your bank before you went on the trip?
Uh,
Usually
no.
when I travel a few states out, if I know I'm going to be out for a while, I usually call the bank. But
A lot of the companies don't do that anymore.
oh,
It's
really?
all-
Yeah, I think it's more
it's all
just if
automated.
it's, like you said, if it's a really quick change
One,
of
they'll-
state, then
they'll
they'll
let
be
it
I have
like,
a smaller
"Mm."
regional bank. I'm not like U.S. Bank or anything like that. So
Yeah.
they keep an eye on us.
Anymore, I think they realize, like, when you're traveling, like, if it's 8 hours later and you're in another state and then you buy a few things in that area, they figure it out, apparently.
I've heard them shutting people's cards off for that
sure.
because they don't.
Oh, I've had that happen before years ago.
Yeah.
I had
Not
a
not
fraud
fun when
alert
that
come
happens
up
on
on
like
mine.
happens like a Friday night and you're in a hotel in San Francisco with no cash.
Oh, shit.
Definitely not a fun situation.
Not a fun
No.
situation.
Happened to me 2 seasons ago when I was on my way to see Dustin in some town in Missouri. I had words with that lady on the phone.
Were you shaking the wiener when it happened?
No,
This is what
I
you
was-
do.
How could you do this?
This is for Whit.
I was in a gas station in Missouri. I was afraid I was going to get my wiener shaked. So I was calling this lady on the phone, like, listen, lady, I'm going to need you to unlock my card right now. And she goes, can you give me your checking account number? And I said, if I had my fucking checking account number, I would just have written a check. I'm like, just unlock my card right now. She's like, I'm sorry, sir, I can't do that. I'm like, listen, if I knew where you lived, I'd ride right to your house.
Did you threaten her that you had hot cheese in that wiener?
My cheese is getting cold in my wiener.
I called my wife. I called my wife, and she sent me the number, and then we got the card unlocked. But yeah, but our bank, like to support what you guys said, our bank did away with that whole situation. You don't need to set your card for a travel card or anything like that. So it just knows.
They look at patterns now, which is part of the problem. Like if you do those micro transactions, like $1 or whatever, that's what a lot of the scammers do to test a card before they run
Yeah.
it.
That was fun. And then I took another $100 out for a gift card, so they definitely saw the dollar transaction, and then they saw the $100, and I was like,
Yep.
yeah,
That's all it takes.
Yep.
A little shady.
right in line with that. Well, but I did breakfast, lunch, and dinner, so every single food stop was done at the gas station as well. I didn't go anywhere else. But
Oh my gosh, I would
Okay.
die if I only ate gas station food.
No. You got to no. Hold on a second. Go back and look at Whit's Instagram. She's not eating wieners at every single gas
No,
stop.
I know, but it's
There's
not like
there's like fruit and all kinds of stuff that aren't bad for you. I mean,
like legit
fair.
take-home
There are,
meals.
like,
I could get
salads and
spaghetti and
stuff.
meatballs and a whole bunch of stuff.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I will have
mean,
to go look. Yeah, that's
for
valid.
real. Anybody eats cased meat for like 3 meals, and you are shitting on the wall of a gas station.
That's what they do at Chevron.
Although I got
Exactly
the
the
same
vibe.
breakfast sandwich every single day for that 11 days. Like the first thing I got every single morning was that it was a croissant, egg, sausage, cheese sandwich. Like I never got sick of
See,
that food.
that's not going to make you shit on a wall of a gas station. That's going to be
Delicious.
good for you.
Delicious.
That's like 3 basic foods right in one. It's got
That's
grains,
all the food groups.
it's got protein, carbs, all in one little package sandwich.
Highly
It's perfect.
preservatized.
Hey,
Preservatized.
Yeah, I
Right.
couldn't think of the right way to say it.
Well, I need all the preservatives I can get.
Tony, once you get above 50, you're already like halfway preserved. So
I know. I need all the preservatives I can get, man, because my warranty's up.
That's what I found out during the trip too. So on day 5, I finished up and I was like just south of the headquarters in La Crosse area, so very close to Minnesota, right on the Mississippi. But I started that next day and my bike would not turn over. I thought my battery was dead, something like that. So I had a fellow coworker from the Quick Trip headquarters help jumpstart my bike with his car, which probably wasn't the best idea, but it was the only thing I had. And thankfully the dealership was literally a mile away. So I limped it over there and they took a look at it. I guess my stator went out on it completely. And
wow.
yeah, I don't know the rhyme or the reason why. I did a lot of starting and stopping. So every single gas store that I stopped at, I turned off the bike and turned it back on. So I don't know if it just was at the end of its life or whatnot. But the dealership was very helpful and literally drove 2 hours to get to get the part I needed to come back and still do the service work and then get me back on the road the next day. But I found out after they hey, this is what's happening, but your extended warranty is expired. And I was like, or your warranty is expired. Like I didn't have an extended warranty because of how I had done my bike. And I was like, oh shit, this sucks. Cause the warranty started when Harley took ownership of the bike. So when I took ownership of it in September, that's not when my warranty started. Unfortunately. So my 2-year was done in April and it was less than a month away. Yeah, less than a month after. So don't worry. I went to the dealership afterwards and I got my extended warranty now, but it was not fun. It put me back a whole day as well during the whole trip. So
Now,
Yeah, that would
now you
suck.
just said something a minute ago. You just said your Quick Trip coworker. Do you work for Quick Trip?
no, a Quick Trip coworker. Sorry.
Oh, okay, a Quick Trip coworker. I'm like, do you work for like marketing or something for Quick Trip? Did I miss something?
No,
She should. She's
know.
got
I
me
know,
wagging a
right?
wiener.
Strange things are afoot at
I
the
know.
Quick Trip.
Hey, we'll get Dave a job at Quick Trip as soon as he's shaking that wiener in the air.
Hey,
I do
Whit,
know the
I've got
marketing
a-
crew, so
I got a question for you, Whit.
Yeah.
Thinking back years ago, you did that video series when you were going on that massive iron butt, right? Which probably seems such a short ride anymore. You remember that series of videos that you did? I found it really interesting, right? How all the planning and how you were approaching the trip and everything. Thinking back on that, how much have things changed for you now when you're like planning a trip?
not too much. It's just intensified, if that counts for anything. Like I just go to the max for planning, and I want to do it every single weekend or during the week and anytime possible. So I feel like I've gotten better with my routing, but it's grown for the last 2 years, 3 years now.
Have you developed any OCDs?
No, not yet. I feel like
Is Percy echoing, or did those mushrooms kick in real fast?
No, he's
For
echoing
you
like
guys?
hell.
She's echoing.
Yeah.
oh shoot.
How am I
Is it-
echoing?
And now you're
Well,
not.
now
No,
it's
you're
not.
not.
There was something weird going on.
I
You
know
were
all
getting,
your
like,
faces
reverb.
were like
Yeah.
Yeah.
You had a serious echo.
Yeah.
How would I have an echo? My
I don't know.
audio's coming out of here and the mic is here.
We're
I don't
telling
know.
you, dude.
I don't
We all
know,
heard
but
it.
it
You're
happens
echoing
to
like a
you.
sumbitch, like you're in the Grand Canyon.
Red River Gouge.
Hello.
Well, you put that
whoa, whoa,
fish tank right over top of your. You know what happened, Dave? You probably shook that hot dog too hard and it just fucked up your audio.
Did
Hit your
cheese come
vocal
out?
cord.
Did the cheese come out?
The cheese came out. It did something to your mic. That's what happened. I'm here to tell you. There was
all
an
good
echo.
now, hopefully.
Boy,
It seems fine now.
this cheesy hot dog is.
I'm pretty sure it was
Really?
Tony.
Stirring things up.
Tony, with as much as you grill the spiced meats, you need to get yourself some of those cheesy bratwursts and do them up Southern
Well,
style.
I'll be honest, I'm not a fan of the bratwurst. And
Oh,
I know that's
man.
probably bad for all you Midwest people.
I
It
don't like
is.
brats either.
Not a fan.
What? You've never
I
had a
just
good
don't
brat
like
then?
'em.
Yeah. I need to bring down some for you guys too.
Our local grocery
I'll
store
try
has
it,
these
but-
locally made apple brats, and they're fucking amazing.
They are good. For some
I
reason,
mean, it's not
feel
of
like-
Johnsonville. Johnsonville can get fucked compared to these.
Yeah,
These are
okay.
good.
Whitney, do they have currywurst up in your part of Wisconsin, or is it just brats?
Just brats.
Yeah.
I don't think.
What did you just say?
I know. I
What,
don't know
Dave?
what it is.
Yeah, what did you
Currywurst.
just say? What is that?
It's a brat with curry.
curry. Why
Yeah.
would you ruin a brat with curry?
Well,
That
if you-
sounds like some
okay.
serious fuckery right there.
So, if you've never had one, then you don't know what you're talking about.
I'm
Hey,
try
not
one
even
before
going
you
to
kill
try
it.
it.
sounds to me like you've ruined it. You've ruined the brat with curry.
Nope. Nope.
Are those on the store on the
burst are
shelf
good.
next to the ascots?
Next to the Pepto Bismol is where
Hey,
it's
I
at.
was impressed that Phil knew how to spell the word ascot. So, you know,
I was just glad that somebody else picked up the mantle, the ascot mantle. That made me feel really good, Dave.
Lord, I tell you.
And to give you some background on that, Whit, Dave, he wears this scarf when he rides, and in his defense, I have seen this scarf probably no fewer than 10 times in the last 3 years. Okay. And then he posts this picture of him sitting in this cafe in Paris with like this,
On the
little
sidewalk
little
outside.
cup of little tiny like 3-ounce cup of cappuccino coffee and like a charcuterie board of food, and he's got that same riding scarf on, and I'm like, now it's become an ascot because you're in Paris. And so from now until the end of time, his riding scarf has now become an ascot. So if you
That's
see
fantastic.
Dave with his ascot on, you need to make sure you make a point to tell him because
You
his
breaking
riding.
it out at FDM.
And prior to that, I didn't even tell Dave this. Prior to that, I was actually jealous because it's quite a nice scarf. But now it's an ascot, and I want nothing to do with it.
Oh, you man of little class.
Oh, gosh.
We need to get Dave like a Vespa with some French bread and a beret.
Long
He
baguette.
can head on down the road
Yeah.
on that. Wee, bitches.
Carrying a paper bag with a long baguette and a bottle of wine.
Yeah,
sticking
that's
out of the
it.
top.
That's it. Put
Yeah.
some fucking leafy greens in a basket on the front.
When we get another Honda Metropolitan in at the dealership, I'll give you a call.
And his ascot blowing in the
monkey.
breeze.
Yeah, his ascot just flying, whipping
in the
over his
breeze,
shoulder.
boy. Yeah, I mean,
Wearing his 3/4 helmet.
yeah, scene is set. There we go.
Yeah, there we go.
Sounds beautiful.
See what I have to put up with.
Yeah, you're
Out
welcome.
of love,
Dave.
right? It's out of love.
Curry bot falls out of his pants when he gets off.
Oh, what? What?
You said a curry brat. What? Is that what it was?
Oh God.
Oh man. Wow.
I mean,
He
this
just
might
keeps a
be our
shaker of
best
curry.
episode out of the past like month or so. I'm just saying.
So Britt, let me ask you this. Have you seen I believe it's Johnsonville. There's a few other companies that make it. Have you seen the ring bologna that has the bright red skin on the outside? See, look at
Yeah,
she
my
even
dog
knows.
has it.
She knows exactly what I'm
That
talking
was a
about.
staple in our household.
Oh yeah, she knows it. She knows it. Oh man.
My dog has it.
You say sliced bologna?
No, it's
No, it's a
ring
whole
bologna.
ring.
It's a ring bologna, and you
Oh.
boil it like a lot of people boil it and serve it for breakfast.
You're
and
talking
things
about
like
the
that.
Red Rocket.
Oh man.
You're
Hey,
bringing
Whit.
back so many core memories right now.
Wait, I'll see you next Sunday for breakfast, okay?
Sounds good.
Ugh.
Oh. She knows exactly. She's like upper Midwest through and through. That's awesome.
Without a doubt. Meat and potatoes. That's my.
That's
was-
right, right, exactly.
Yes,
It's not a
yes.
meal unless there's meat and potatoes.
That's 100%.
Unless it's one of those fucking curry brats, and then I'm out.
Maybe they taste better when you have an ascot on.
Hey, nothing tastes better when you have an ascot on. I can tell you that right now. Especially not a curry brat.
I
But
really need
Dave
to
will
help you
shake that
guys expand.
motherfucker in the air like nobody's business.
Yeah, you will.
Give him two and he can
Oh,
do the
God.
pterodactyl.
Start directing traffic.
Or yeah, or traffic.
Oh my God.
It's like a fucking airplane landing. Dave's gonna be like shaking those things.
It's been fun tonight, guys.
It's your turn, Dave. You're welcome.
Oh shit! Oh, that hurt real bad.
So, Whit, I thought I heard FDBM whisper out of your mouth a little while ago. Is there any plans to come this year? Maybe.
Hopefully, my fingers are crossed, but I have to convince my husband because it's opening season for bow hunting as well. So
Oh yeah, no.
Ooh,
if
that's a
I
hard
can
one.
squeeze and maybe drop the kiddos off in Tennessee and make my way over, because I do not have a wedding this year and it's a wide open weekend. So
Ooh, there you go.
I'll let you know when it gets closer to.
Well, if
Very
it's
cool.
about doing the hunting, you can bring him with you, and he can chase Tony or Brittany around in the woods with his bow and arrow.
Yeah, there's plenty of dead deer on the side of the road already with their asses eaten out. It'll
Yeah.
it'll take a lot of work.
Man, it's the first place the buzzards go is right for the ass. I mean, I don't get it.
Those
Entry point right
opening
there.
weekends though are hard as far as gun season go and bow hunting season. It's hard
Yeah.
to convince him otherwise.
Yeah.
So
I gotcha. Well, bring them along.
I wish, but he's already got land stocked out and who knows what else. So
Wow.
if I can make it work, I'm going to definitely make it work. I'll trailer the bike down to Tennessee, drop the kids off, and ride out. That'd be
So,
Nice.
so Whit, does your husband still have the fat boy then?
Mm-mm. Last year around this time frame, no, I even think April, he sold it already. So Yeah.
Is he done riding?
not done riding. So like we're going down to Texas in a couple weeks too, and we're gonna rent through Eagle Rider and just ride. But as far as just making normal commutes and stuff like that, he wanted to trick out his truck and do a lot of stuff with his vehicle instead. And then I sold my Sporty in June this time
Oh,
last
did you?
year. So
Wow.
it was like I wouldn't have unless it went to one of his, like, so my husband's good buddies wants to learn how to ride. And so I sold my bike to him. So I knew where it went. I know it's going to someone that's going to actually use it. And if I need to buy it back whenever he's finished, I'm going to buy it back in a heartbeat. But at least it's getting some use.
Sure.
See, Brittany, if you want tips on how to sell a Sportster, just get a hold of it. Here it
Are you
comes.
selling yours?
Here it comes.
No,
Oh.
not selling it.
She's not
These
selling a
guys
bike.
are
She's
convinced.
not riding.
She's just gonna let it rot.
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep it.
She's going to keep a Sportster.
Ryan
she's not
doesn't have
riding
any
ever.
room to talk anymore because he bought a nostalgic motorcycle.
I bought a
so-
legacy motorcycle. It's totally not the same. It's not a fucking Sportster.
Mine is a 100th anniversary edition, though. So, like, that's where I want to buy it back in a heartbeat and then, like, trick it out to do some, like, flat track or something like that with the bike. Like, I want to do something with it.
See, I'm gonna go to Mama Tried someday, and Whit's gonna be riding her motorcycle around that track in the arena, and then it's gonna be then I'm gonna be like, "What's up, Brittany?" And you and your fucking Sportster that's sitting in your garage that you're not riding.
It's charged at least.
You got stabilizer in that bitch? I hope so.
Jared rides it
gas
every
has gone
once in a
bad.
while if I don't.
Mm.
Tony, do you still have the Honda too? Or no?
No, I sold the Honda.
Dang it. Because I still have the emblems I was going to send to you, but they're in the garage. No.
Tony, did you get a good flip out of that? Because that thing was in boxes when you got it.
Yeah, no, I did pretty good on that one. It bought a lot of parts for my lowrider.
Nice.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, do we have some Discord questions for Whit?
We
Do we?
have some Discord
I
questions.
believe
Yeah.
we do.
Hopefully they don't involve tubular meat because we have beat those to death.
I don't think they do.
We shook
today.
those to death.
We have shook
Yeah.
those to death tonight.
Well, Dave shook him to death for sure.
I think Dave's taking a nap.
I'm trying to look for questions.
I thought he fell asleep. I was like, God damn.
That's what
He's
happens
down.
that's what happens when you get old. You just fall asleep immediately.
Did you fall asleep?
There's a
easy?
little bit of truth to that.
It's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with it either. I feel the same way sometimes.
Well, I can confirm after you turn 50, the gateway to health is in your ass.
Oh, everybody. I can confirm that Jared did change his name to Tiger King in Discord.
Nice. So, Whit, here's a question from Volts. What other endurance challenges are you considering completing next? I think we talked a little bit
We
about
did.
that.
We talked about that one.
Is there anything beyond that? Have you
Yes.
Yep.
So that ultimate coast to coast and back if I can. And then hopefully in 2024, there's a group called the Biker Bells. I don't remember how many specific are in that group, but they did very similar routes to what I had done throughout the last couple years, but they've done it in a group sense, like 5 or 6 individuals riding coast to coast. They did the 48 and 10. I talked with one of the ladies there, and we have tentative plans to do all of the Great Lakes series. So going around
nice.
every
Cool.
single, because I've done like Michigan, but I haven't done any of the other ones, and I would love to do
Nice.
that.
Is
So,
that the group that did the 48 and 10 like shortly after you did?
yes.
Oh, very cool.
So I've never had a chance to ride with them, and I know because they ride long distance, like I would get along and probably work very well with them because I'm so used to riding solo. But just to be with them would be super sweet to do. So
Yeah. Plus, you can get them discounts at the Quick Trip on gas.
at least in Wisconsin, anywhere else like that. I know there's some in Michigan, but not quite where I need to be. But
Nice.
that's on the list, and I'm sure there's going to be a handful of other ones. I know. So the Iron Butt Rally is happening next week already, the 2023 one, but I hopefully will have enough on my resume to apply for the 2025 Iron Butt Rally. That's my goal as well. So riding 11 days for over 11,000 miles plus. I know the winner from 2 years ago rode 13,000 miles on a Hayabusa. So
God damn.
Jesus Christ.
On a
That's really cool.
Hayabusa?
On a Hayabusa, he won on a Hayabusa.
Well, good.
Do
Well, that's
you
just
have
because
to-
he went 180 miles an hour, and so he was only on the bike for 6 hours a day.
Yeah, probably.
Technically, they're very strict on timing and miles per hour and where you get at a certain pace too. So, like, if you do anything that's over the speed limit, you'll get docked points and certain
So
things for it too.
hang on. Hey, I want to ask, how long does it take Whit to go 1,000 miles on a motorcycle?
Depends
hours.
on where you're riding. Like if I was just on Interstate 10, I could get from California to Texas in a day. So
In a day. So what are you talking? 16 hours?
yeah, I know there's some individuals done 14 or 15 too. If you don't like, if you just do quick gas ups and go.
Yeah, shit,
So
if I
if you're
jumped
looking
on,
at 16 hours, we're looking at probably less than 4 or 5 hours of sleep a day.
Mm-hmm.
Those
And
people,
you're doing
Tony,
that for 10 days.
when
For
they're
11
riding,
days, yeah.
when they're riding 16 hours at a time, I guarantee you, there's some of those times that they're just pissing right on their motorcycle. They're not even stopping. I
You
guarantee
guys can
you
have
that.
catheters, and I don't know if that's a thing at the Iron Butt Rally now, but there's some individuals that
Not
have.
everybody has those issues like you do, Ryan.
You're right. I have a
Whit-
bladder of a squirrel, so
Whit,
you're
from
not
what you
gonna
were
lie.
saying, do you have to actually qualify to go on that ride?
So you have to kind of put in an application for it, and you have to put money down, and then there's a certain amount of money that you have to like kind of secure your spot to do so, and then you have to I don't know if they get chosen or if it's by random. I'm not sure how it is, but if you do some of the other long distance rallies and you win first or second, you get an immediate place in the Iron Butt Rally as well. So if I do some of those rallies, and if I get a chance to be up in the 1, 2, 3 spots, I might get a possible. But I figured if I can beef up my resume and show that I've done all of these long distance rides, hopefully it helps my application. for
Well,
it.
you are an amazing person.
Thank you.
I mean, absolutely incredible.
But just something I want to do, and I want to get that 3-digit number. I'm not sure how close they are to it. So they hold, I think, right before 1,000, they've got those numbers secured for the Iron Butt Rally finishers, and I think they're in the 800s or 900s now. And I would love to get a 3-digit number for the Iron Butt Association for that. So
Wow.
yeah,
Motherfucker.
super strict but super fun. I would love to, and just I need to trick out my Pan Am just a little bit more because I'm still riding it stock yet. I
Oh,
haven't done
really?
anything. I haven't done much of anything to it. So yeah.
Wow.
Sergeant James 101 asks, just bought my first bike, an 09 Softail Deluxe. Thinking of getting another bike next year, debating on a Heritage Softail or a Road Glide / Street Glide. What would you suggest, and what's some good tips for getting more confident on the highway?
Shit. I like to rent before I buy, at least if I have a chance to. So I had a chance to ride a Street Glide. I haven't rode a Road Glide yet. I need to, but just getting out and doing some of those long distance rides with it is probably good. You can't hear my husband making salsa, can you, right now?
Is that what that
I
was?
thought that was
Yeah.
Tony.
I thought
I
was
thought that
putting
was
his
Tony
pants.
snoring.
No, that's my husband making salsa right now. Sorry. But no, just getting used to those bikes. I had the hardest time when I rented a Heritage. I could not get it in neutral to save my life. And there's just something about that bike that I just was so frustrated with. But I don't know. It's awesome that they want to upgrade already.
And getting fucking comfortable on the highway. I mean, just go do an iron bike.
You just got to get used to it. Yeah. There's no other way to go about it. That I did, I think it was my first experience with it. I didn't even realize I was on the interstate until I was forced to get on. And I was like, well, here we go.
It's happening.
Let's see what my Sporty can do.
I just
what
want
do
to go out on the first time in bad weather.
Yeah.
What do
Just
you
for the
guys?
first time.
What do you guys think about? Because I've heard this before, and I don't know what it is. When someone says, "What are the tips for getting more confident on the highway?" Do you think it's the speed?
I
For
think
me,
it's the
it's
speed
the
and traffic.
cars.
The traffic.
See, I feel more secure on the highway than I do. I mean, 'cause
Well, are we
I
talking
do too.
interstate? Like, so for multi-lane, like say you're on a three-lane interstate. For
Well,
me, it's
highway
the
and
other
interstate.
cars.
Yeah, highway and interstate are two different things. Highway
But for
is
the highway, that would
55,
just
60.
be just speed, I guess. Just
Yeah.
if you haven't ridden much, it's just nerve-wracking.
I'm with Tony. Like, I would much rather be on a highway or an interstate than in in-town traffic, because there's way too many unpredictabilities in in-town traffic, at least on a highway. So this is what I do on a highway. When I ride on a highway or interstate, I am the aggressor. So I'm going faster than the speed of traffic, so I control what happens to me. In town, there's fucking cars everywhere and people blowing through stop signs and turning in front of you, and not changing lanes and not looking. I'm way better on the interstate and highway. And I don't give a shit if I'm going 90. 90 for me is way better than 35 in town. That's just me.
Yeah, but for a new rider, I mean, that getting on a highway is for interstates intimidating. Yeah. I mean, you've got the speed, everything's happening faster, and let's face it, there are a lot of assholes out on the highway.
And if you're on a sporty on the highway, I mean, you're doing 70, it feels like you're doing 210.
Yeah.
So
he's on a Softail Deluxe. So that's a whole, I mean, the Softail Deluxe is a good sized bike. That's nothing to shake a stick at. But
I would say then early morning, like there's a lot less traffic if you can get on like a Sunday, like Sunday morning, get up early. All you have are the semis to pretty much be your partners on those highways or interstates, whatever it is. Then at least you get the feeling of going that fast and going through those interstates. But
don't get up too early on a Sunday morning, because you'd be hitting all the DUI drivers coming back from the club.
I would say you need to find a semi and get like 30 feet behind it.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Get caught in the vortex.
Terrible idea.
Tony.
Get caught in that vortex for a few miles.
Terrible idea.
Hey, as somebody who's been almost killed by a semi, I do not recommend getting behind one.
Yeah.
But I agree with riding on the highway or the interstate. I feel more comfortable on it than I do in the city. So most of my quick trip moto takeover was done in rural cities and larger cities. And it was a lot harder to do this route than it was to do my 48 and 10. Because on the 48 and 10, I was almost always on the interstate, except for a handful of times. But this stop and go and just listening to traffic and having to go off of whoever is next to you, it was a lot more nerve-wracking to do so. So, yeah.
Nice. What else we got?
J.R. Sherman was asking if you have plans to do the other quick trips that you weren't able to finish this time.
Yes. And I need more PTO. They're literally regret hanging inside of me going, I need to find a weekend where I can just pop back to Iowa and get most of those done. And then I hadn't hit any of the ones in Minnesota. I really want to get to that Duluth area as well. So I want to get them done before the end of the year if I can.
We were just over there. We camped in Superior a couple weekends ago. And what's that?
A couple weekends ago, you said?
Yeah. We were a couple weekends ago. We were camping in Superior, and we rode up to up the North Shore of Lake Superior, and we went by Quick Trip, and one of the guys in the group that we were riding with, they were like, I wonder if Whit went to this Quick Trip, and I'm like, I don't know, and they're like, we're in Wisconsin, she must have gone there.
Most likely than I did. When I was up in Superior, it was like 30 degrees. It was very cold up there.
Yeah, it was not cool. Even 2 weeks ago it was 70 in Superior, but when we went north up Duluth, it was freezing up there. So yeah, because we went all the way to I'm trying to think of the stop that's maybe 50 miles from the Canadian border, the town that's up there.
Yep.
That's where we went all the way up there, and the North Shore of Lake Superior was freezing 2 weeks ago. It was probably 40 degrees. So driving interstate speeds at 40 degrees was chilly for sure.
But yeah, I figured it out. I think I need at least 5-6 more days to be able to finish, maybe 7 a full week, because there's a lot in Minnesota and a lot of condensed ones in larger cities that I need to go out and do. But yes, long story short, will be happening. And then there's more, because there's some coming to Sioux Falls, South Dakota as well. So I need to, if I make my way out to Sturgis, I'll be hitting those up as well. So
sure.
You going to Sturgis this year?
Possibly. Depends on my husband's military stuff that he's got going on, if we can do it, because it always lands on our anniversary. And I went in 2020 and I loved it, but he's never experienced riding out there, and I want to show
Well,
them.
Ron and I are going out this year, so you guys come out and I'll buy you a nice bottle of wine to celebrate your anniversary.
That's sweet. Thank you. Oh,
And he'll have his ascot on.
Dave, mine's tomorrow. What do I get?
Nothing.
I thought for sure he's gonna say he's gonna buy you a cup of coffee because we've been saying that for a long time. This
My
ride
very
out-
own ascot.
That's after the wine. And do tell your husband we thank him for his service and really appreciate, and you as a dependent. You do not have an easy job
No,
as a spouse of a military member. I know that for sure.
thank you. Appreciate it.
So we have another JT says for Whit, I'm a get on the bike and go type of person. Very minimal planning. I'm sure it varies by the trip, but how much planning and prep goes into your trips?
A lot. I'm very type A. There might be a handful that I'll randomly just go out and ride, but I joined the Tour of Honor this year too, and there's so many sites that even then I was like, okay, I need to plan this spot to be able to get them all. So if I can and I've got the time, and that's where I just get so sucked into the planning and the routing part that I don't realize the hours go by, and I've got everything at least generally planned out.
Okay, so Whit, I have a challenge for you. Are you ready?
Oh
This
God,
is
I think I know what
this
you're talking about. Okay.
This is the challenge for this year. Okay.
Yep.
I want you to do a multi-day trip with zero planning
Oh my God.
and
Okay.
only have a destination in mind, because I did that last year. I was on the road for 8 days and all I knew was what day I needed to be where. Like there was 2 stops I knew I needed to be. I didn't plan any of my stops. And I made my hotel. My wife actually made my hotel reservations for me while I was on the road.
Heck
So
yeah.
there's a challenge for next year, a multi-day trip, multi-day, multi-state trip
Mhm.
with zero planning. So you just get on your bike. You know how many days you're going to be gone, so you can pack your clothes,
Yes.
right?
I've got
So
the
you can
time limit to get
pack
back.
your clothes and your time.
Yep.
But you have a destination in mind, right? But zero planning. No planning gas stops, no planning stops where you're going to stay. Multi-day trip, zero planning. That's my challenge.
And
to you.
probably an iron butt certificate of some sort in it. I
Sure.
think.
I mean,
There
whatever you
has
want
to
to do as far
be.
as
If
that.
Whit's going to do it, there's got to
just
be
saying.
an iron.
There's
bike.
got to be
can't-
something towards
can't-
it, like
You can't
ice cream
plan.
insanity or egg insanity where you're going to every.
You can plan your destination, you can plan your endpoint, and you can plan like where you're going to go, what time you need to be home, but you cannot plan any stops, no gas stops, and no places to stay.
Oh my God, sign me
That's
up.
my
If you
challenge.
told me to do that right now and take off, I would totally do it if I had the chance.
Like that's my check, because that's how I trip, that's how I road trip, and I have found it to be extraordinarily liberating, because sometimes I'll go 90 miles between stops, sometimes I'll go 200 miles between stops. I just go with how I feel and where the ride takes me and where the destination takes me.
For
It's
sure.
a really good feeling.
You should
Let
try it
the
with an
road do your
ascot
planning.
on and see how good it gets.
I'm going to
They're just not letting up on that, are they? No,
Ask-
I
You
didn't
can
know it was called an ascot.
You can ask Dave. I find a weakness and then I focus in on it. And I
I
don't
just
let it
didn't
go.
even know it was called an ascot. I love it.
He's horrible. He's a horrible human.
I'm not a nice person.
And yet we all volunteered to be a part of this with you.
I think
So,
you're
what
a
does that
cheese-filled
say about
brat,
us?
Brian.
It's weird. What's that?
You're a cheese-filled brat.
Does that mean I'll burn your face if I squirt
That
on
means you're a
Yes.
dick. A hot dick.
I'm a hot dick.
Hmm.
Well, at least I know one thing. If I'm a hot dick, Dave's going to hold me in the air and shake me one day.
This is for Whit.
Oh, day's been made. That's awesome.
Lord. God save our souls.
Hey, at least I can say one thing. We did not direct any of our attention towards Brittany in this podcast. She was completely free of ridicule in this podcast.
Next week.
She
It's-
was.
You know, that's a change of pace because
Where's
I know.
Jerry?
That's what
I
I'm
feel
saying.
as though I'm often the focus of the ridicule. So
Where's Jared?
Where is she?
Where's he at? Where's Jared?
Recovery.
Is he in
Recovery.
Exactly.
He's got a ball gag in his mouth in the closet right now.
You come out when I say you come out.
Man, I wish he listened that good. That'd be great.
See, I knew it. I knew it. Fucking knew it. It's like I wish. He
Poor
listened that
bastard.
good. Welcome
Actually,
to
no
Five
one's
Dirty Bikers
seen
Podcast.
Jared in quite a while.
He's around.
That's
he
not a
just
good
DM'd
sign.
me the other day. I know he's alive.
How do you know that was him typing on that phone?
He could have been
'Cause
duck
him
walking
and
and
I-
typing, but
It could have been
Him and I
Brittany.
talk very differently, so
they do. They do. He DM'd me the other day, so I know.
You know
he's
what?
alive.
I've seen Fight Club and how that played out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just saying.
Here's a question
Tyler
from
Durden really didn't exist.
Here's a question from Mike Oxlong. The question is for everyone. Do you ever get a gut feeling right before you ride that something is going to happen? If
Every
so,
time.
do you listen to that feeling or do you ignore it and go riding anyway?
Are we talking like diarrhea? Or
no. Tony,
something bad-
seriously, you need to go see a doctor.
Brittany,
I
I'm
did.
telling you right now, if you get in your bike and you feel like diarrhea is going to happen, that's a bad feeling.
That is
It
a
is
bad
awful.
feeling, but
However you
only
slice it.
Tony would bring it up. Like his go-to is, "Are you gonna shit yourself?"
It's a legit question.
I'm pretty sure Dustin's in that club too.
Yeah.
Don't throw Tony out there on his own.
I think we're all in that
If
club.
you go
to be
back
honest.
and
You're
look
just
at
in
the
denial,
history,
Brittany.
if you go back and look at the history of the podcast, Tony is the one that brings up shit most often.
I'm just saying. I ate a lot of White Castles.
And I have IBS, so what does that say about Tony?
I ate a lot of White Castles.
Okay, so I'm going to answer this question seriously. I do not. I ignore it.
not get the feeling or ignore
No,
it?
I ignore it. If I were to get a feeling like that, I would ignore it and get on my bike. I'm not gonna. You know what I mean? I don't.
I think every
There's
time you get on your
times-
bike, you always have a little bit of a feeling, man. You know what I mean? Because it's
Well,
a
there's
dangerous
times where
fucking
I've
thing.
had,
You know what
like-
I mean? But you power through.
Well, there's times where I've had maybe more of like an off day where I thought about riding, but the day something just wasn't sitting right in the whole day, and I have intentionally said, you know what, I'm just not going to go out today. And usually it was a good decision.
Not me. I just spit on my hand and power through.
Oh my God.
Jesus.
God.
I'm to the point where my back tire needs to get replaced bad, and I still did my 300-mile commute up to town. And
talking
like
about.
I know my I forget what it is. The radiator hose is too close to one of the pipes too, and I'm getting to that point where I'm like, that needs to be done too. But there's certain things that they're well, I guess if anything happens, well then it happens. And
Is there a fix for that, Whit?
I
with the
feel like
radiator
there's
hose
a
being-
part for the radiator one. So
Yeah, I
I
kind of
feel like-
I've heard that because you have like the is yours the first gen Pan Am?
Mhm.
Yeah, so I've heard that radiator pipe situation has been an issue on some of those bikes, and so
Yeah.
I did think that there was a fix for that.
For sure. But even my back tire too. Now I'm like, I need it.
There's a fix for the back tire.
There
it's
is,
another
but I
back
want
tire.
to see what life I can actually truly get out of it too. But
Let me ask you this, Whit, too. Did you find this to be true? Because we have a friend also, actually really close to Dave Volts, and he has a Pan Am, and he has said that he felt like the Pan Am runs hotter than other Harleys. You've ridden a variety of other Harleys. Do you feel like your bike it runs hotter?
no. But then again, I wear a Gore-Tex suit, so like I don't really know. Like I don't feel much of anything.
Right.
I'm
Because he was
normally
wondering if it
riding.
wasn't riding position. You know what I
Could
mean?
be.
Like your
Could
legs
be.
are kind of tucked in more like a sport bike rider kind of
Mhm.
position. And that was creating that feeling of heat where the rest of us are riding like we're getting a pap smear.
Yeah, I don't notice it too much from my end of it, but no.
Interesting.
Jesus.
There you go.
That bike fits me so well though. Like I haven't done anything to it. Haven't raised the bars, nothing to that extent. No different seat. I'm just 100% stock
You have
on it.
the stock seat. You don't have the reduced seat.
No.
Volts has the reduced one.
I ride in the tallest position when I'm doing my long distance rides. It's the most comfortable for me. Granted, I'm like tiptoe when I get to stop signs or
Right.
stoplights, but yeah. Nope.
Wow, very cool.
Is that it for Discord?
I think that's it for Discord.
I think that's it.
Well, that was healthy. That was a healthy selection.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Those were legit questions.
We can always count on Discord for filling out some of the podcasts. Thank you guys, really. And remember, Discord is
Fucking free.
fucking free.
All day, every day.
5dirtybikers.com. It's on the homepage. The link is there. Get in there and talk to some people. There's some good
That's
ones
right.
in there.
Buy some merch and get some tickets for that charity bike too while you're at it.
Should we invest in some ascots for 5 Dirty Bikers merch?
I think
that-
everybody needs a good ascot.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I think personally, I think it's a great idea. Dave's ascot is amazing. So, 5 Duty Bikers ascots, they might be coming. Who knows?
Is this sarcasm?
I hope so. 'Cause I was laying it on pretty thick.
I will never send you guys photos again when I'm traveling.
Hey, you post.
You
on
didn't
Instagram,
send it.
that's
You
fair
put it
game.
out there
Yeah,
for all the world to see.
exactly. You didn't send that
Did I
shit.
send that to you? I sent that to you guys. Or did I
No,
post
I
that
think
on
it was
Instagram?
just on
Who took the
Instagram.
picture of you sleeping on the train?
Aha. That was a good shot.
That was lies and deceit. Somebody wasn't sleeping.
That was a good shot.
He put his phone on delay, and did the old man sleep.
Oh, God.
Can we move on to a different topic? Is it time to wrap this up, Dustin?
It could
Probably.
be. I think so.
maybe.
Whit, thanks again for coming on. Great episode with you, like always, when we have you on. Of course, we'll plan it again sometime.
Thank you.
And, of course, I hope we see you at FDBM this year.
Absolutely. I've missed you guys, so this is good. Got me filled for a little
Fun
bit.
time.
A little bit. We can be feeling for quite a while.
Oh, Jesus.
Everybody, remember, we're selling
So
tickets
inappropriate.
for this motorcycle, our 75 Ironhead. Please go to 5dirtybikers.com and buy some tickets. Support Autism Society, doing great things for families in need. So we appreciate your support. If you have bought tickets, if you haven't yet, what the fuck are you waiting for? Come out.
Gosh.
And if you have, come back and buy more.
Yeah, more the merrier.
Right.
Buy them tickets.
I guarantee you're not doing an iron butt on that fucker.
Oh, I totally would.
You would
Challenge
be
accepted.
legit iron
God,
butt.
that would take forever.
I watch Whit buy a
I-
ticket and she wins it, and she's like, challenge accepted.
Well,
Done.
It's got
let me tell you what.
such a small tank on it. I mean, you'd have to stop so frequently.
You would have to anyway with that hardtail. Let me tell you what. That suspensions doesn't exist.
That looks comfy. I'd do it.
You guys, didn't you just listen to her? She just did a trip where she was doing 70 stops a day. That Sportster would last 70 stops a day.
Yeah, every bit.
Oh,
of it.
that could be. That could be a good bike for a quick trip run. Yeah.
I think we did our advertising wrong. We should have hired Whit to ride it around the country for us.
Yeah.
Here, it's got an
Maybe.
extra 2,000 miles on it. It could be
Yeah.
That's really- You'd have to. I mean, I'd have to carry a backpack with just underwear in it because
Well, I mean,
no place to
theoretically, the
strap
engine needs
on
to
that
be
bike.
broken in.
Yeah, it does actually.
Yeah.
Theoretically, you're right. It does. It
Let
does
me
need to be
know.
broken.
I'll do it.
Brett's like, let me know. I'll do it.
I can get that done for you. It's the
I
only
wanna
bike
do
I
that.
can
Or, like, even
legitimately
the
flat
Canon-
flatfoot.
Yeah, the Cannonball run too, where they got the really old vintage.
Yeah, that stopped at our
bike, like,
dealership earlier this year, yeah.
Yeah.
I
That
want to do it all.
Or last year.
that bike that we have though, with that's only a 75, so it wouldn't. It's
Wouldn't
too
hit
new.
that?
It's too new for the Cannonball run.
It is.
Yeah.
Damn.
Tony can flat foot the bike. I actually just
yeah.
walk right over the top of it and just sit down.
We're leaving a little bend in the knee. I was impressed.
It's great. Yeah. I mean, I got full lift off the seat.
Look how you lit up. You just lit up. So
It
happy.
wasn't from a fart.
I mean, it's just fantastic.
I love it.
All right, everybody. We'll see you next week. Keep it dirty.